Well, I had to do it. I had to soak both of the trucks and the frame in soapy water to get rid of that mildew smell. Man, that would just... this engine just reeked of mildew. But now it is much better, and we'll see if I have to replace the wiring or not. Thanks for joining me in the basement. What we've got today are a pair of ALCO FAs made by Lionel in 1953 and 1954. We're going to look at some of the details and see why these are different, why they're special. Because these are what I consider first generation, and this other one over here is a second generation. If you look real closely, you can see this one's got a lever sticking out the top for the reverse unit. These are down below, but there's some other interesting differences as well. They brought these out. I don't think they were really great sellers in 1950, the first generation, and then they made some changes and brought out the second generation. We'll definitely take a look at both those, but the main thing with these is I bought these last summer at an auction, online auction, not eBay, and came with this little tag that said $80. I paid a little less than that, but it says it runs good. We will try it on the track before I tear it all apart, but let's get into it, and certainly let me know if you got any questions, but I'm looking forward to getting these running. Okay, so for those of you old enough to know or have watched old runs of Hee Haw, this is kind of like Minnie Pearl with the price tag on her hat, but I'm not going to leave this price tag on. It's only going to get caught up in the wheels here, so let's move that out of the way here. Just got to grab the top of this sucker. There we go. So, like I said in the intro, I am really looking forward to getting these going. Alright, there we go. It's off. So, this is the dummy unit. The interesting thing about these is these have die-cast frames, so they're a little heavier. The dummy unit is lighted, and it has remote coil couplers on the front of each engine. The couplers for this would be on a special accessory track that had extra rails on it, and that's the contact for it. Here's our rollers for everything. Got a locked dummy coupler in the back here. No, it's a blanked off plug for the horn battery. And like I said, there's no slot in here for the reverse unit. Now we look at the power unit here. Again, very similar shell to this guy, almost identical except for the slot. From reading online here, if you've got a smooth one, that's meant it was built before 1953, I believe. We also got a deeper indent for the horn, which is not on this guy. But another major thing is we've got some extra decoration on both units. They've got these red lenses on the marker area here. We've got an actual insert here for the model number of the engine, 2032. And then for this, because the shell mounts differently, we've got some rivets right here. That's how you can tell the different mounting of the shells. This one has a D-cell battery cover for the horn. We've got the reverse unit riding on the rear truck here. This is our contact again for the coil coupler, remote releasing coil coupler. And then we've got a different kind of motor gear arrangement here. And this one is pretty gummy, so we'll definitely have to check that out. But let's put it on the track and see if it really does work. Just for those who didn't realize, the second generation here has got a stamped steel frame, and plastic side tanks, much cheaper construction. This engine is designed to run on 027 track, but will work on both O gauge and 027. Alright, let's turn on the power supply here. Alright, let's see if it'll do anything. Well, nice! Hey, we got a runner! It's not a great runner, but it runs. Can't beat that. Alright, let's see if the headlight works in the dummy unit here. Will the headlight work? Does not appear to be working. Oh well. Can't get everything. Alright, So, to take off this shell, I'm not really positive how to do it. Oh, we've got a lock tab up here. That's kind of cool. So you swing the lock tab around, then the shell will come off. Let's get a screwdriver for that. So I can tell right away that this thing was more expensive to produce, which is one reason why they changed everything. Alright, let's see if we can get this battery cover open. I don't think you'd... Nope. Okay. Well, you can't beat that. There's no corrosion at all on that battery cover, so... That. If the horn works, that'll be great. Alright, so we just give this guy a little bit of a twist. Try not to break anything. That would be bad. I'm pulling, I'm pushing. Like I said, this is the first one I had open. Well, how are you supposed to get this? Alright, let's see. Alright, so I see some slots in the back here. Ah, we've got a... we got a tab in the back. I didn't realize that. Alright, so we got another twist tab. There we go. Yeah, definitely more expensive to build these suckers. Here we are. Another thing that these have different from the other units here is we've got an actual windshield with molded in windshield wipers. So they really went to town on this thing. Looks really good. Alright, get this guy off the track. So, let's see what we got. We've got our basic motor up here. Interesting. They've got the... I don't know if it's supposed to be that way, but they've got the wire for the field coil going down to the bottom here instead of up to the top. Very interesting. Alright. Yeah, the reverse unit was working, so we're good there. Somebody must have thought the horn was too loud. I had a piece of tape over it. Here's our horn relay. And they all came fitted pretty much like this. Horn and whatnot. The early ones did. So this is the wire to activate the coil. I can see that moving in the back here. But none of these wires look broken. Obviously it was working. So just got to tear into the motor. Let's check this light bulb out. Yeah, it should work. I can see the filament. Okay, I got a nice magnetic bin here. There's some nice dirty gloves from the last project, which is alright. Much better. Alright, so let's see what we got. We don't have a whole lot of room with the wires on the field coil. Have to be careful. Wow. This has been cleaned recently. Not. You know what I mean. Okay. So this is assembled differently, which makes sense. Doesn't look too bad though. Not a lot of gunk in there. Alright, I'm gonna release this guy. This probably holds the motor in, I'm betting. Alright, perfect. Oh, this is riveted on. Interesting. Okay. Nice. So to get the motor shaft out, I would need to get that circlip off. Probably a good idea. We'll pull that out. Now I'm going to put my thumb behind it here, so when it pops off, it won't go flying across the room. Alright, let's see here. Very good. So we got a circlip and a washer along with a bearing. Yeah, there is no grease. Look at that. There's no grease left on there. So definitely a good thing. We're going to town on it. Okay, we just gotta coax these off here. Here we go. Here's our thrust washer. And this is the thrust bearing. Look at how tiny that thing is. It's amazing. And then we've got another washer right in there. Alright. Got a washer there. So I'm only pulling this out part way so I can get this washer out. Okay, that is... we got two washers here. They're both metal. Alright, and I see the roller bearing there. Thrust bearing. Got a couple washers here as well. We'll try to pick them up with the end of the shaft, which is not working. Alright. Looks like this is just a single washer. A little bit of oil film is holding it on there, making it tough for me to get at it. I could just leave it, but I want to clean it. Wow. Alright, there we go. This is a single washer. Single washer on top, two washers on the bottom. And there we got another thrust washer and thrust bearing and single washer. We'll keep those guys together. Alright, good. That'll make it easy to clean. Very nice. Alright, boy, that made that easy. Alright. Here we go here. Yeah, look at that. There's just old dried out grease. Got some play in here. Actually, they run pretty good. Let's pull these off here. Yeah, these screws are not very tight. These hold the side frames on, which I like. Make cleaning wheels a lot easier. Okay, not bad. I might end up soaking this in the ultrasonic cleaner. We'll see. LIONEL Corporation, New York. I like it. Okay, what do we got here? I don't see much dirt in here, so I'll probably just apply some lubricant. I'll clean off what I can. Alright. How are we looking on the back axle set? Got a center screw there. Let's take this horn off. This is a bicycle horn that LIONEL must have bought a lot of, I'm guessing. They seem to use it for quite a while. It worked. Why change it? There's our adjustment screw, which we will probably need to activate. Alright, we're going to pop this guy off. Don't see any washers here. We got a spring. It's good to know. I'm going to put that back on the screw here. Alright, let's pull these side frames off as well. Yeah, these are not very tight. That will make assembly, or cleaning these wheels much better, because these wheels really need cleaning. They are dirty. Let's take a look at these guys. These are the same left and right, front to back, which is good. Alright, how's that looking? Got some interesting, like, corrosion down in there, maybe. That's okay. Alrighty. Well, it ran good forward and reverse here. The actual... oh, that is dirty. Wow. Look at that. Right in there. That's supposed to be shiny copper. I'll probably take that apart just to clean the wheel. It works good. Yeah, we got a little bit of grease in there. We should clean that up. Alright. Okay, let me get to town and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, I'm going to see what I can do to clean up these shells. The decals are already gone off most of the sides. This side looks pretty good still, so I'm not too worried about removing decals, but oddly enough, the shells smell kind of musty. So I am definitely going to be cleaning these suckers up and see if I can make them at least smell better. I didn't realize a shell could smell bad. But hopefully they look better when I'm done. Well, I had to do it. I had to soak both of the trucks and the frame in soapy water to get rid of that mildew smell. Man, that would just... this engine just reeked of mildew. But now it is much better, and we'll see if I have to replace the wiring or not. I'm not going to I can't soak everything, and I'm not going to. But, like the reverse unit and stuff like that. But, boy, that's just crazy. This is... I understand, you know, hey, it's in a mildew-rich environment. It's going to smell like mildew. But, oh, I did find one thing different about these side frames. There is one side frame that is different. And that is the side frame that's on the powered truck that goes along the gear. This side frame, compared to, like, this one here, has an extra bump out feature to hold that gear in place. So when this is installed, that'll keep the gear from floating out. Also, I noticed that this gear was installed backwards. The raised portion, I'm assuming, has to go against the casting, because that's the way these other ones are. But other than that, it's looking pretty good, and as you can see, well, what I did with this truck, instead of soaking this truck, which I could have done, is I hit it with brake clean, and that definitely killed the mildew that was on it. But this gear here, cleaned up really good, really nice. It's ready for grease here. I'll probably put a little bit of grease on these. It's not real, considering the use I'm going to be putting on it. It's not that big a deal, but hey, it'll help out a little bit. All right, let me keep going here, and things are going good. Oh, also, interesting design about the thing about this is this early truck, the motor powers the front axle, which through the gears powers the back axle, whereas the later trucks on like the Santa Fe ALCO FA I've got, the motor powers a center shaft, which in turn through gears powers the rest of the wheels. Just kind of something a little different between them. Yeah, there was another reason I didn't soak this. I didn't want to get any water in this mechanism for the electric coil here. Okay, time to clean up the motor. One of the things I noticed is this is black. This is not oxidized. I believe this should be silver metal, and I could be wrong on it. It might be black originally, but at least in the other ones I've seen, they've all been silver, so I think this might have got a little hot, but it seems a little odd, because then you'd think that this would be black. It doesn't matter. I've cleaned out the grooves here. This armature doesn't look too bad. Yeah, piece of cake. We'll just hit a little Scotch-Brite on here. That looks pretty darn nice. We'll try a little Scotch-Brite on here, see what happens. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. It cleaned up awful easy. It could have been black anodized for just to prevent corrosion, but I kind of doubt it. We'll get in the grooves here as well. That came off pretty darn easy. Alright. That looks much better. So, got the reverse unit taken apart. And all you gotta do is get some pliers in here, and one side of this joint will pop off. And man, it's crazy how dirty and yucky this looks. I'm amazed it worked. But all we're gonna have to do is heat it up with a little Scotch-Brite, and it will start working much better. Yeah. Boy, check out how much better that looks already. Amazing. Just a few twists of the Scotch-Brite. Kind of interesting, it's one more silvery than copper. Must be a little better material. But yeah, that looks better. Alright, let's see here. That looks good. I don't want to wear away all the material, so it must have a sort of a nickel plating maybe on top of the copper? Something? That's why I'm trying to make sure not to rub it too much. It's definitely had some use, that's for sure. I'll wipe this down with alcohol before I put it in. But, yeah. Oh, and to get these locked back together after everything's all lined up, I just take some pliers, just give it a good squeeze and it'll snap back into position. But the fingers look pretty good, so. Because this original wire had just this yucky, crusty coating on the outside, probably mildew, I'm going to choose this wire. And this is just a bundle of wire that I had laying around, hanging up on the pegboard by my workbench. I forget what I grabbed this out of. But it's good quality wire. It's a little stiff, but I checked the original one. The original wire was a lot stiffer than this, so I'm not too worried about it. But this is another reason why you save some of this stuff, because it's the right gauge. It's good quality wire. It's copper, unlike some of the wire you get today. But yeah, it's just kind of one of them things. So I'm just going to shove this in here. And we'll just mash her down a little bit of solder. See here, we'll clean the solder tip off. Perfect. We'll just heat everything up. Doesn't have to be pretty. Not too worried about it. Make sure it melts there. Maybe I'll just shove it forward just a little bit. Well, I think we're going to be just fine. By just heating this up, I can smell that mildew. So I didn't wash this part. Alright, that's going to work good. Yep, everything's connected. Alright, onward and upward. Okay. Got things roughly back together. And everything looks pretty good. I got this wire, I'm not really sure where it goes. Activates probably the secondary power to activate the horn there, but that's no big deal. I'm not too worried about that. Probably goes to the frame connection or something, I don't know. I got the headlight wire to figure out still, but still got that funky thing. I should replace that. But yeah, let's give it a shot and see if I put everything together right. Okay, well, goes great in reverse. Oh man, that motor sounds good too. Alright, I also pulled out the actual rod that goes up into the reverse unit there and hit that with Scotch-Brite. Got the other non-powered A unit all back assembled. Cleaned up the wheels with some Scotch-Brite, and everything's looking good. New wiring installed, and that should be good. Luckily, these things are super easy to put on. This little quarter turn there on the screw, lock it in place on the front and the back. You can definitely see why they made a change here. A lot more expensive to build it this way. Okay, that is set. Okay. I still got another engine on the track, but we'll just power this up a little bit. Alright, headlight is working. Let's get the Texas Special over here. Okay. Do a change out of power. Alright. Put that guy there. This guy turned out really nice. I'm quite happy how that looks. Everything cleaned up nice, and it smells so much better. Man, this thing just reeked. Alright. Lock this guy in here. Alright, let's see how she goes. Beautiful. Man, that thing runs so nice. Well, I'm pretty darn happy with how that repair went. Some new wiring for the non-powered A unit, and just a cleanup for the powered A unit, and a big scrub down for everything. Since I mentioned so many times before, this thing really stunk. Mildew smell, man, that's just bad. But hey, it's much better now, and it's quite a runner. I'm really happy with how well this runs, and I knew they would be a good runner. I've read the reviews and whatnot that these would be good runners, but it's still very impressive. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Jeremy with Too Many Hobbies. Please let me know what you thought, and hopefully I will do another video where I'll fix this guy. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.